Episode 16 of Miss Night and Day begins its finale with Mi-jin's parents finally discovering the special condition Mi-jin is in, where her body transforms into Lim-sun during the day and reverts back to Mi-jin during the night. They try their best to cheer her up with skincare products to reduce aging. Meanwhile, Jeol-gyu is awarded a reduced sentence for his cooperation with the police and on Mi-jin's request for leniency. Even after the case comes to an end, Mi-jin doesn't return to her old self. She decides to take matters into her own hands and future-proof her situation by joining a gym to reduce aging, applying for insurance, and making necessary adjustments for her parents to live their lives if she is not around. It is as if she's begun living life properly, going on trips with her parents and hanging out with Dae-young, acutely aware of the inevitability of life and realising that her youth has been the greatest gift she has been given. During these experiences, she reminisces about her time at the prosecutor's office and finally discovers what she truly wants to do in life. Mi-jin begins preparing for the civil services exams again, this time not to fulfill her mother's dream, but to do it for herself. Meanwhile, we find that Ji-young has been transferred back to the Seoul office, and he visits Mi-jin's parents one last time. Her father tries to buy time for Mi-jin to come back home, but eventually has to let Ji-young go. It's later revealed that Mi-jin had seen Ji-young in front of her house and decided to keep her out of the way until he left. Later, Byung-duk is almost scammed again while trying to buy a second-hand ring for Dae-young, but fortunately Ji-young had been watching him with the fraudster. This is also when Ji-young bids goodbye to Byung-duk while tolerating his objections regarding his transfer. Elsewhere, while hanging out with Dae-young, Mi-jin as Lim-sun spots a familiar looking cat but doesn't pay much attention to it. That night though, Lim-sun, Mi-jin's older self, visits Mi-jin in her dream, bidding her a final goodbye, and sure enough, Mi-jin finds herself back to normal. The next day, for the first time in many months, Mi-jin is simply herself during the daytime, and also appears at the court as a witness against the fake Na Ok-hui's trial, pleading for a severe punishment against her. On Judgment Day, Mi-jin finds that Ji-young is going back to Seoul, while the killer is awarded a death sentence for the heinous crime she's committed. Later that night, Mi-jin's family celebrates their victory regarding the trial, while Ji-young secretly drops off Mi-jin's cactus that she had looked after while working together with him. Time passes by with Ko-won returning as a pop star and releasing his popular single inspired by his time with Mi-jin. In a flashback, we find Ko-won and Mi-jin talking together, with Mi-jin thanking Ko-won for being her friend, but also saying that things between Ji-young and herself haven't ended. Dae-young and Byung-duk get engaged. 6 months later, Ji-young is back at the Seoul office and having lunch with his colleague when he comes across Mi-jin, the new top investigator at the office. Although his colleague shows interest in her, Ji-young is finally able to reclaim his spot as the two rekindle their relationship and move towards a happily ever after, which is where the finale comes to an end. So this episode of Miss Night and Day conveniently ties up all the loose ends we had. Whether they make sense or not is a completely different question. It's undeniable that the themes of ageism and perseverance present it as an uplifting finale, and Mi-jin's struggle with her past failures and her courage to move beyond them are the highlights of the episode, and to be honest, the series as a whole. However, in terms of plot logic, there's not really very much of it here, is there? The episode shows Mi-jin's older self as a conscious entity separate from Mi-jin's younger self, which doesn't really make much sense and only shows the inability of the writers to reconcile the fantastical age transformation aspect of the show. Despite its heartwarming themes, Miss Night and Day's finale is actually pretty bland and an uninteresting attempt at tying the loose ends to the show. But those are just our thoughts. What about you? Did you enjoy the finale? What are your thoughts on this one? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.